Well, that didn't work as planned, but we're live. So here we go.
I was like, that wasn't as climatic as I thought it was going to be. You usually
Yeah, that did not go well.
what
Here we
are
are, first of the year, guys.
are
Yay.
are we missing the tunes? What are we missing the tunes?
There's a narration, there's tunes, there's graphic stuff that moves around.
And
Yeah,
and y'all just got
and
the
none
quick
of it
little
showed up.
y'all got the quick little boop. So it's all good. Well, happy new year. Happy birthday. Your birthday was a couple days ago, right?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. I forgot to wish you a happy birthday. I'm so
You
sorry.
texted me
I did text you? I can't even remember.
or some other guy named Scott, and I just happened to get it.
Okay. See, this is my life. I am so in this hamster wheel right now that I can't remember what I did when. So, oh, I did text you. I did text you. I forgot. And then you didn't respond, but I understood. You're like, I'm taking some time with my family. That's all good. Um,
Yeah, I was trying to get rid of screens for a while,
yeah.
just kind of detox, and
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
been a very weird change of season. And these people know us, so I'm gonna like
Yeah.
C4 left us as a sponsor. There's a lot that goes into that, and the changes. Just every show needed changed, like a new opening, a new everything, and it's just been a lot of like weird stress, not like normal stress.
Yeah. I feel like if you only knew how parallel our lives are right now, and I will have to fill you in on that off air, but definitely crazy stress for me. And it's been, so I feel you. And I filled the listeners in a little bit on I started my own podcast series, Scott. I called it The Gains Train. It's Coach Cheryl's journey to gaining a little weight, getting a little muscles, the gains train. So
There we go.
I started that, but I wanted to just quickly share that with you. But I shared a little bit on my stuff. So um,
So Jeremy Flatter asks, "How old are you, Scott? Since you disclosed your weight, I don't feel age is too personal. I am 54 years old."
heck yeah. Yeah. So almost 55. 55 is senior citizen, right? Is that what they call senior citizen? That's when you can get into like the 55 and up clubs, right?
Are there such a thing? I thought that was 65.
I'm pretty sure there's 55 and up communities. So, but good. Lex, thank you for listening to my podcast. I'm going to be honest. I feel very vulnerable with my podcast that I'm doing right now, but it's important for people to see the other side of things. So I'm happy for that. Lex
Yeah,
just called. Yeah.
when you talk to geriatric,
Yeah.
but the nice thing is at 55, you can get into some certain communities
Yeah.
where it's only 55 and up.
Yeah.
No
So
crazy teenagers taking over the pool.
listen, before we get into your journey, when my first job, I believe it or not, I worked at Burger King. That was my very first job, and you have no idea the senior citizens that would come in for their senior coffee, and if they didn't get their senior discount, they were like livid because they would get like 29-cent coffee, and it was 55 up. Anybody over 55 senior coffee, and they got a senior discount on all of their sandwiches. Like it was just, did you give me the senior discount? Like it was just, they were entitled to that freaking senior coffee, but just brings you back
Yeah,
to
one of my first jobs was Wendy's here in Columbus, and in Ohio we have the Golden Buckeye card, and people would hand you the Golden Buckeye card wanting their senior discount on the Wendy's.
yeah.
But enough of that. When you texted me and said you want to do this other show, like I was so excited because I do think you need to do it. I do think it's good for you, and I do think it's good for people to hear.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you have decided to
Yeah.
do all that.
It's starting off a little rocky, but we're getting there. So we're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. And I actually am doing my own accountability on member. You had to do the same thing with your posting your macros on Instagram. I'm doing the same thing this week. My macros have been on Instagram the past 2 days, and I'm gonna keep it up. So, but this is Scott's journey, and I want a little bit of a little recap how your holiday season feel like you finished it up, and we'll start to kind of talk about some changes going into the new year.
So I think I overestimated how easy it was going to be to track and do all the things. Um, because even though like it was a weird holiday season for us, it was a weird holiday season for us.
Mm-hmm.
And being empty nesters and no kid for the first time did take its toll on us and how things went. And so I did not track like I expected I would. And um, I'm anxious to get back to a schedule because
Yep.
tomorrow's my first day back to work after the holidays. And as much as I hate my job, it does give me this schedule thing that allows me to like track my food and do the things that I normally do a lot easier than the freewheeling no job days.
Yep. I agree. Structure creates freedom. I love that saying. It really is true. Like the more structured you are, the more free you are because you can now when you have all that stuff, that's just planned out, like you can really work towards your goals and also have space for other things, right? Like you're just back to your routine again. So I'm excited for you to get back into routine. So I think that I already kind of expected, I'll be honest, as your nutrition coach, I kind of expected, and I'm okay with the holiday season being the way it was. I think that for me, it's like, where are we at right now? Where are we going? And as I told you that I told you that what I wanted to title this week because I wasn't sure what she had to bring to the table, but I know what I have to bring to the table is um we've been going at this journey and we're chipping away at it. Have you weighed yourself since the holidays and all that?
I have not.
Okay. So we're going to get away in this week. Not yet, obviously, whenever you get back on the scale. But I wanted you to title this Planning for the Home Stretch, right? Because we've been pretty consistent with you attacking your goals. And we lost pretty close to your 100 pounds in that year. And now we've kind of been in maintenance mode now. You're still seeing a little bit of change, but kind of in maintenance mode since I got to pull up your trainer eyes now where we were. Um, I think we've been around between 290 and 300 has kind of been our little bit of that's been like the last, call it 4 months, right? About that. Let me just pull it up for you.
We dipped
280.
under that 290 a little bit.
Yeah. So we're just under 290 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been 289 before that 293. So yeah, so we've actually been making pretty good progress is what I'm saying. So, since yeah, so 298 was September. So we've lost about 10 pounds since September. That's pretty good considering the holidays, the travel you've done. And that's why I wanted to title this Planning for the Home Stretch.
So
Because
before you get to that, Larry Young put in that personally scared of the scale right now.
oh, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. Larry, you should reach out to me, dude. We haven't talked in a while. And I just realized you changed your name. He used to be like LDY with numbers. That's who that used to be, just so you know. Anyways, so I feel like when you set a goal, you attack it. And we set a goal in 2022 to lose 100 pounds before 2023 games. We did a great job of that. Okay. You don't have another 100 pounds to lose. You have less than 100 pounds to lose. So I think that this year, as much as we're focusing on other areas of your health, because now we're at a place where you are getting to where like we can start to dial things in and focus on other things, it's time for us to plan for the home stretch. Like let's make this your year where you no longer have to you're going into 2025 no longer having to lose weight. That's my goal for this year. How do you feel about that?
Well, I would love that.
No more scale chasing after this year.
I would love that.
I think it's the goal.
Okay.
I think it's the goal because if you lost another, what, 50 pounds, 70, 60 pounds, What's the lowest weight you've ever gotten to?
In my late geriatric, if it says Lex adult life,
Yeah.
I got to 260.
Yeah. So shit, you've never even seen yourself at that weight. How tall are you again? 5'10", 5'11"?
Yeah, right around there.
So I think that getting you down there, and we could reassess, but I think that that's probably going to be considerable weight. And at that point, I know that there's going to be other concerns that aren't necessarily fat. Okay, this is where obviously you're going to have, it's your weight loss journey, but you're going to have the excess skin stuff. And at that point, that might become a medical necessity for you. There's things that you can also look at down the road. But I think that this is the year for you to freaking hammer the nail in and let's do it. That's my goal.
That sounds great.
It sounds great. It sounds awesome. Everybody signs up. Everybody signs up in the beginning. But it's like you're already made so much progress. Now it's just like we got to hammer it down. So travel-wise, we don't have any travel coming up. Oh God, Corey, man, that's like serial killer stuff right there. Jeez, that's the stuff that you don't talk about. I'm just kidding. But travel wise, you've got semifinals likely, but that's not until May. Doing any other traveling?
So that's the thing. Like everything is up in the air with sponsorships, right?
Right.
If we get some sponsors for the show, we'll be able to go out on the road again. If not, not so much. But there are some. I will say this: we are trending in the right direction. That I'll be able to go to some places. And one of my listeners, who is an awesome person, reached out to me to help, and I'm actually going to reach out to him to see if we can set up a call soon.
Love it.
To help with sponsorships.
I love it.
Which just like almost made me cry that we have a listener so loyal that they're willing to pitch in and help was freaking like off the charts cool.
That's awesome. So a couple of things that I feel like, aside from travel, that I want to kind of hammer it down on is obviously, when do you go to your primary care provider for like your annual? Do you normally schedule that anytime?
So I'm coming off Wild Health because
Yeah.
that's gone too. I've got to go back to a primary care. Probably going to make the call this week to set up something to get back in with him.
Okay. So I kind of want to like look at this year as your health journey, right? Weight loss journey, health journey. We'll figure out PCP. We'll look at your blood levels, see where everything is, thyroid, vitamin D, all that stuff, insulin, your blood sugar, which I'm sure probably all that has improved dramatically, cholesterol, anything like that, right? And then let's really start to look at data. Aside from, I want to see more. So I want to have we don't have to do weekly photos, but I think that we should be doing monthly photos. And I want to start this week with you updating your photos in the app for me, because I was trying to look at that, right? And I don't have, when we first started, and I'm like, I don't like to make people take photos because I feel like it is an uncomfortable thing. Nobody, like, I'm taking photos right now and I'm posting that on YouTube, but like, it's not comfortable to like take photos of yourself. It's like, I don't have to do that. But if we're only focusing on the scale, we're not focusing on how we look, and we're not focusing on the other stuff that I'm talking about, like talking to your PCP, we're missing huge opportunities for you to optimize everything and to make sure that we're, seeing the changes too. So I want to start by getting some more photos. The last photos that I have from you, believe it or not, are from March of last year, I should say. And I want to have photos in there like your starting photos. And nobody on here has to see those. You can feel free to share them with anybody. But I want you to start taking photos again on a monthly basis so we can start to compare and see the transformation a little bit this year. Final year, Let's do that on a monthly basis. So that's one commitment for you. So I'll make sure that in your Trainerized dashboard, which is the software guys that I use for his stuff, I'm going to put a reminder for you to take photos, and we'll do it. I'm going to put it in for yesterday. So it'll go like at the first of every month, but we can do that. I'm going to put every first week on Sunday, every 4 weeks. So we'll do that. How's that sound?
Sounds just like LDY 2742 says.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we can do it.
All right. We can do it. So we're going to do photo. So see, he changed. That's Larry again. He didn't like me calling him. See, I'm telling you, it's the same guy. I think it is at least. But yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll do photos. We'll figure out from your PCP where your blood levels are at, just to kind of see things. How's your sinuses been?
So that I think I said last time we did the show,
You were sick.
the sinus doctor came in and saw like the remnants of this virus that's going around. That has been rough. I will tell you, like, I thought I was getting over it when we had the show. It took me another week to like be able to really work out. And I feel like I'm building a cardio base from scratch again.
Yeah. Well, I feel like your workouts have been pretty inconsistent for the last couple of months. In terms of, I think you've been getting them in the garage, but your normal routine Polaris schedule hasn't been as routine.
It's just hit or miss for me because things have gotten crazy at work.
Yeah.
So I don't have this consistent schedule on my day job to make it to Polaris every day.
Yeah.
So I go every day I can. And then the days I can't, I supplement with the garage or basement now.
Yep. Okay. So you're getting a workout in every day, just not ideal.
Correct.
Yeah, good. I just want to comment, Jody Lynn she's going to take her first photos and wait. And I love that. Jody, you should definitely join my webinar next week if you haven't already signed up for it. Anybody that wants to join my webinar next week, I'm doing a webinar next Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to go over simplifying macros, obviously the things people do wrong, making it easier for people that literally just feel like the macro Tetris. Like, remember, Scott, when you first started, how you thought you had to be like to the gram, like removing all of that and just showing people the benefits of it and all that stuff. So just a little plug for that. And Jody, I'm happy that you're doing that stuff. So Lex said she would love to see you back in Polaris at the community at least a couple times a week. You are, though. You're going. How many times a week are you going?
It's at least 2.
Okay.
But it's the weird days, like Tuesdays and Thursdays is usually when I can go.
Yeah.
Which isn't like it isn't the consistent crowd. But yeah, like I think like 2 of my projects are done. So I think it's going to lighten up.
Good. Here's what I'm going to also say to what Lex is saying too is I have been forcing myself to go more to the gym rather than just working out in my garage. And it's not about the intensity, but if you're somebody that struggles with isolating and like getting overwhelmed or any of those things, even depression, I just find that getting out of your like work and the busyness and just getting out in that community does just make you feel better. And for me, even if I'm not doing the same thing as everybody else that's there is doing it, but just being in that environment around other people just kind of is a good thing. And I know you know that because when you're at the gym, you likely feel really good. So I do agree that getting back into the gym when you can should be also helpful. But yeah.
I want to speak to this one. So Kenneth says, I don't get the home gym shame. Honestly, Kenneth, I feel better when I'm at Polaris. My personality needs that.
Yes.
I look at home gym as my supplement. It is my, in case of emergency, break glass.
Yeah.
Polaris is my stay. That's
And
where I need to be.
yeah, it really is a matter of like everybody's different, right? CrossFit for people is different, so CrossFit, in fact, you listen to a lot of the I was listening to I don't remember which podcast I was listening to. It was one with like Bill Grunler, Pat Vellner, and they were talking about one of the questions that, I think it might have been Talking Elite Fitness, I don't remember. But they talked about like, what is is it the community or is it the competition that brings people, or is it like the workouts? And I think for some people, it is the community. They need the community, to kind of get out. It's their social situation. So it is different for everybody. There's nothing wrong with working out in your garage. In fact, I can work out. I don't have to go to the gym. I could be perfectly fit working out at home. But as I mentioned, if you're somebody that doesn't get out much, you're kind of in your own devices, it can be a great place to just kind of kill two birds at one stone. You get a workout in and you get to connect with some people. So, but yeah. So was it on Pedro's? Yes, it was. That's right. The Coffee Pods guy. That's Coffee Pods. That's who I saw it on, listened to it on. Okay. So our focus this year is we're taking some progress photos. So we're looking at something besides our scale. We're doing a good job on the biofeedback. We're going to get some updated labs so we can kind of see where things are at. So before you go to your PCP, I'll probably give you a couple of things like, hey, have him check these things out too, because he's probably not going to do as extensive as a lab test as Wild Health will do. So if you're getting it covered by insurance, you better go ahead and ask for the things that you're going to need. It's going to help me optimize things. But let's talk about this week. This week is back to routine, back to being on your own thing. And I see Lex's comment, so we can address that in a second. But your goals this week. All right. Let's actually get you some specifics. All right. So yes, you're tracking your food. You're getting in 5 to 6 workouts a week right now, 5 workouts.
5.
Okay. So, and your movement and all that kinds of stuff right now in the wintertime isn't super. Are you walking your dog?
Yes, he still needs walked.
Yeah.
I will say it's probably not as long, depending on the day. But we've been pretty lucky. We've only had like a handful of really cold spells.
Okay.
We've actually had some warm ups. So it goes the way the weather goes.
Okay.
Whether it's a couple blocks or just a block.
Got it. I'm just looking at where your calories are in the app and looking at, about where you're at, like BMR wise and everything. I honestly think where your calories are in the app is good. I have you at 185 protein, 250 carbs, and 80 fat, 2460 on calories. I think that, like we've always talked about, this isn't about perfect macros for you, especially with you needing the flexibility around dinner. It's like, hey, did I get enough protein? Am I pretty close to my calorie range? So I think the sweet spot for you is always somewhere between 21 and 2300, with that occasional day or two where you might be a little over or a little bit under. So I think that the main focus this week is getting you back into consistency with tracking, but also like I want to be able to see what your food looks like. Like, hey, are you getting in some vegetables? Are you getting in, like what kind of fiber count are you getting in? I want to start looking at all that stuff and really make this the year that we're like diving in, finishing up strong. So food journal, step number 1. That's the first. That's a barrier of entry this week.
And log it on Instagram every night.
I like that. Do it. I'm doing it right now. So I just wanted to take a look at Lex's long comment there.
I'll pull it up.
Who's shaming that there's going back to okay.
But also there's people who do better intensity wise and with other people and are more motivated around other people. So it helps. It aids not being alone and seasonal depression. I think like there's a lot to the seasonal depression for me.
Oh, yes.
Nobody's out in their front yards like when I'm walking Walter now. Like 3 months ago, I'd walk the neighborhood and I'd talk to 10 people.
Yeah.
Now you don't get that.
Right. Yeah.
And I am an extrovert. I am an extrovert by nature. So being around people does help me.
See, I'm I'm an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert. I don't know which one it is. I like connection, but I gotta have recharge. I gotta have me time. Like
I think everybody does.
weird, you
But,
know?
like, what gives me my energy most of the time is hanging out with people.
Yes, agreed.
Like, that's what gives me my energy, but I do need, like, a day like today where it's just me clearing out the stuff from 2023, making up the new stuff for 2024, and so on.
I love it. Yeah. Speaking of that, can I just make a quick little funny vent here? So I got this Christmas tree, all right, and it comes in a box, and I didn't put the Christmas tree up because it was Thanksgiving. I'm like, hey, I'm doing all the cooking. Why don't you guys put the Christmas tree up for me? So my brother and my mom put the Christmas tree up, and I'm trying to take the Christmas tree down on last weekend, and I got it down, and how the hell this Christmas tree fits in this box at any point is beyond me. Like, it's like trying to squeeze a freaking baseball into a little peg hole. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I sat there for an hour before I said, you know what? I'm just going to throw it in my office for now until I figure it out. It just, even like the length of it doesn't seem like it'll fit. I don't get it. I just want to vent. Like the Christmas tree box is like, it doesn't make any sense. So it made me want to get a real tree next year.
I agree with Jeremy. Gotta go with the tree bag.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought, but they packed it up. It was all nice and neat. I'm like, how does this thing fit in this box? I'm going to take a picture and put it on Instagram because there's just no way. I just don't get it. I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, does this thing come apart in another piece? Like, I don't know. So
Jody Lynn says it's like a bar puzzle.
it really is. It's ridiculous. It's like literally solving a Rubik's Cube. So
And Corey says you can make anything fit with enough time and resolution.
yeah, it's called.
Listen, I've known Cheryl for almost 3 years now. Maybe 3 years,
Yeah.
maybe 2. I don't know. But anyway, the one thing I did learn, patience is not one of her main attributes.
I have patience until I don't have patience. That's what it is. Like I was, I have patience, and all of a sudden it's like, what just happened? Where did my time just go? Oh, holy shit, we got to get moving. We got to get things going. I just find that like days don't go smooth for me. But anyways, that's my little vent about the Christmas tree. So just had to say that. All right. So we've got our focus for this week. I feel like we're in a good spot. Are you planning on signing up for the Open this year?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm just curious. How are you feeling about engine work this month? Do you want to kind of like just table that for right now and just focus on? I
No,
think,
no, I need it so bad.
all right, then let's do it.
No, that it's important.
Okay, then let's do the engine work. How many workouts do you? Are you? Let me ask you this: Are you supplementing your normal workouts with the additional, or are you just using them? Are you going to use them throughout the week?
Depends on how they make me feel.
Okay, that's fine. The reason I kind of worried sometime is because if you are going to Polaris daily and then I'm programming something that's like doubling up what they're already doing, I didn't want to crush you. But I'll program them as if you're doing them in your garage, and you can just do them on days that you don't go to Polaris, or additionally is fine. So I'll make sure that I do that. So you think 3 workouts a week?
I like the 2.
2. I like it too. Okay. We're going to get you fit, Scott. Our goal is to do Murph this year. Remember that. So we're gonna start off. I think this month we'll do some conditioning, but we'll sprinkle in the push-ups and the air squats too, because we want to maintain. And you've likely lost a little bit of endurance on both of those things last month. I will crush you. Come on, Kenneth. My goal is not crushing anybody. We're crushing previous beliefs and previous identities, and we're becoming somebody different. Oh, 4 rounds, 100-calorie row. Ooh, that sounds horrible. Why?
How do I
Why?
delete someone from the comment?
Say what?
How do I delete someone from the comment?
Oh, I don't know. There we go.
Like
Yeah,
this guy, nobody
that,
needs his input.
yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's like Why is rowing for calories so much worse than rowing for meters? It just
Um,
it just feels different. Today my workout was a 6-minute max meter test on the rower. Oh, just anything like that just makes you feel like blah afterwards. Like the 20-minute test I gave you, I know. So, but yeah. No, Kenneth, I think he meant 100-calorie row. But 1,000 meters also. Oh yeah, I got it. Okay, Kenneth, haha, funny. I like that. See, I'm over my head. Coach Cheryl didn't get the joke, and now she gets the joke. But all right, so I can't do Murph. Megan, you absolutely can and will do Murph. You will get a pull up this year. Now that I know that, we're going to make that part of a priority for you as well. So we're going to make that happen. But all right, so I feel like this week we have some direction. So I think next week maybe you can fill us in on when you are going to visit your doctor. Take your progress photos, update your weight so we have like a starting place for 2024. And really, we have quite a while until travel because even on the competition front, there really isn't much going on that you'd really be going to. There might be something. Crash, I think, does something in the February maybe, but other than that, it's like the Open, right?
yeah, all travel's on hold at the moment.
That's what I'm saying.
So
So you're not really doing any traveling, so you're in good spots. Birthday's done, so yeah,
yeah, well, cool.
let's
Well,
do
as
it.
always, thank you everybody in the chat for hanging out. We love you guys to death. Your input inspires me every day. So thank you so much. And with that, we will catch everybody next time on Clydesdale Media Weight Loss Journey. Bye, guys.